We're not sure where they're getting the money from, but Real Madrid are apparently making plans to sign both Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland in the summer transfer window. If they're able to make those moves happen, Los Blancos will be a force to be reckoned with for sure. PSG are going to be extremely busy in the winter transfer window, with the likes of Icardi, Diallo and Kurzawa all linked with moves away from Parc de France. It appears that Antonio Rudiger is set to leave Chelsea this summer, but it appears that the German international might not move to Real Madrid as initially expected. Barcelona have apparently imposed an ultimatum on Luuk de Jong, who has been asked to find a new club this summer. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It's the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. Luuk de Jong is already an undesirable at FC Barcelona. However, arriving this summer from Sevilla FC, the striker has never been able to silence the skeptics about him. A victim of the context and guilty of a few memorable mistakes, he's already invited to depart. According to Sport, Cadiz want to bring him to the club this winter and already have an agreement, but the prospect of playing for the relegation-threatened side does not really appeal to the 31-year-old, who plays the waiting game. Barca are, however, putting pressure on the player to leave Camp Nou. After a first ultimatum, de Jong now has until January 3rd to respond to this offer. With the start of the winter transfer window, players at the end of their contract next June can now negotiate freely with other teams and possibly sign a pre-contract agreement before arriving in the summer. Between Kylian Mbappe, Paul Pogba, Paulo Dybala and Luis Suarez, there are loads in this situation, and Antonio Rudiger is also one of them. Arriving at Chelsea in 2017 from AS Roma, the German defender has not yet extended with the Blues, which does not look good for the Londoners. Because for the past few months, the 28-year-old is clearly on a cloud. With 25 appearances in all competitions this season with the London club, the Chelsea number 2 has a string of quality performances to his name and is today one of the finest central defenders in England. Suddenly, the big European teams have looked into his situation, whether it's Paris Saint-Germain or Real Madrid. But on the side of Casablanca, this situation seems to have changed lately, as ABC reports that Madrid no longer want to recruit Antonio Rudiger next summer. The reason? The Spanish club are satisfied with the performances of David Alaba and Eder Militao and do not intend to bring in another experienced defender. The Spanish media say that if Real Madrid get their hands on a defender, it will be a young player who will have to earn his place in the starting 11. But there is also another explanation for the decision. The Daily adds that the Rudiger clan has asked for a signing bonus of €20 million, which Real Madrid don't want to pay. All these reasons therefore mean that the president Florentino Perez and his team won't go any further with this matter. We can therefore consider this as good news for Paris Saint-Germain, who are still interested in the German. That's it then, we've entered the new year, bringing with it the opening of this long-awaited winter transfer window. PSG will be active this month, especially in the direction of departures. Kylian Mbappe is obviously not concerned, after having assured that he will be a Parisian until the end of the season. On the other hand, a lot of his teammates have been linked with moves away from the club, such as Rafinha, loaned without an option to buy a few days ago until June by Real Sociedad. First, there's the Diallo and Kurzawa case. The left-back extended his contract in June 2020 for 4 years, but doesn't want to go away like that. However, he benefits from attractive offers from Napoli and Lazio, who are trying to sign the 29-year-old. Inter seemed interested for a moment too. Thilo Kehrer does not seem really inclined to leave the French capital, unlike Abdou Diallo. Mauro Icardi is still in the sights of Juventus, but his situation hasn't improved for a few days. This could well change soon, since Barca want to sign Alvaro Morata, currently on loan from Atletico Madrid. A departure of the Spanish striker would result in the arrival of a replacement. Now, third goalkeeper Sergio Rico is on standby but ready to go, while Eric Junior Dina Ebamb has not yet made his decision, even if he would prefer to leave. Juventus are preparing a major cleansing within the workforce this winter. Among the players invited to leave, there is Aaron Ramsey. The Welsh international, under contract until June 2023, has never shone at the Bianconeri since arriving from Arsenal just over 2 years ago. The Sun says that Newcastle are ready to welcome him this winter. The Magpies, 19th in the English Premier League, want to strengthen in order to save their place in the Premier League at the end of the season. However, they're not ready to offer him the more than €450,000 per week that he receives from Juventus. Meanwhile, the Magpies are still interested in Lille star Sven Botman. The Magpies are ready to do anything to snatch the Dutch central defender, so much so that the case would have been significantly packed in recent hours. Jocelyn Gourvenec does not hide it. The winter transfer window can cause collateral damage within his workforce at Lille. With limited economic resources, Lille are obliged to sell players with high market value. If the French champions finish 2021 on a high, the start of 2022 promises to be complex. Indeed, Gourvenec prays that the Mastiffs don't get looted in January, which would multiply the former Girondins de Bordeaux manager's problems. But after Jonathan Ikone's official departure to Fiorentina, another player who played a huge role in Lille's Ligue 1 triumph could leave, and that is Sven Botman. According to information from the Daily Mail, Newcastle have shifted into high gear in this matter in recent hours. If the Magpies encounter the mistrust of some players, especially because of their precarious situation in the Premier League, the Dutch central defender would seem rather inclined to take up the challenge. This would be massive for the Saudi owners, who have made the arrival of Botman a top priority this winter. A great offer should arrive soon to convince the club to let go of the former Ajax player, with the residents of St James's Park set to offer €35 million. Aware of the main protagonist's desire to play in England, Newcastle have intensified discussions in recent hours, with the firm intention of winning the bet. Eddie Howe expects no less than 4 defenders in January to strengthen the defensive sector of his workforce. Still at the heart of transfer rumours, Norwegian striker Erling Haaland has said a few words about his future during his vacation, and the little statement did not go unnoticed in Spain. While the winter transfer window has just opened its doors, some hot issues that should be sorted out next summer might end up being sorted out this month. We obviously think about the situation of Kylian Mbappé at the end of his contract at the end of the season, but fully focused on Paris Saint-Germain and the current year for the moment. But there's also the Haaland case. Even though his contract at Borussia Dortmund runs until June 2024, the Norwegian striker is driving the biggest European teams mad. Recently, we learned that Die Borussen had asked the player to make a decision on his future before the end of February. If ever the 21-year-old, still very successful this season with 19 goals and 5 assists in 16 appearances, BVB would like to know in advance to anticipate and replace him quickly in the summer transfer window. But for the moment, nobody knows what the Norwegian cyborg will do if the interests of Real Madrid or Barcelona are real. However, the last statement of the youngster perhaps helps to know a little more about his future. On vacation in Marbella, in southern Spain, Erling Haaland simply said a few words that have already driven the Spanish press completely crazy for a few hours. "I will play here in Spain," said the Norwegian international to fans, as reported by AS. So inevitably, these few words didn't go unnoticed on the other side of the Pyrenees, while rumours are multiplying as we speak. Lately, Mundo Deportivo explained that the Borussia Dortmund striker was clearly Barcelona's priority for the next summer transfer window, but that a plan B, named Dusan Vlahovic, was already chosen in case of failure to land the Norwegian. Regarding Real Madrid, President Florentino Perez's dream is still to recruit Kylian Mbappé and Erling Haaland at the same time in the coming months. While Mbappe's heart is set on Madrid, the same can't be said about Haaland. The likes of Manchester City and Manchester United are still interested in the youngster, and as long as Mino Raiola is not happy with an offer, then Haaland will stay put.